Hello, I'm John Jebb from Act2 Transform Limited. Now, as part of our business recovery program, we're providing extra advice and tips by way of interviewing other business support specialists. Today, I'm joined by Adam Mason from Sector Associates, and we'll be talking about insurance and why it's important to seek friendly and independent advice. Hi Adam, can you start off by letting our viewers know what Sector Associates do and how you're helping businesses deal with their problems at the moment?
We are a commercial insurance brokerage. We specialise in commercial insurance. That's anything from your professional indemnity through to your liabilities, as well as your property cover, and basically anything a business would need in order to insure itself.
I assume you do business interruption, which is really important at the moment.
It's a standard part of any policy, realistically. It's been a difficult time as far as business interruption is concerned. It's a very sticky subject at this moment in time because the cover isn't there, unfortunately, in a lot of the circumstances, and in some of the circumstances where it is there, it's being denied. So that's a bit of a tricky one at that one at this particular moment. There's going to be an ongoing case, and that's going to be a long battle for us to help our clients.
Yeah, so I guess it's really important to understand the small print, to find out whether you've got the right cover. So to ensure that businesses can bounce back securely, what essential business policies do you think they need to have in place?
There isn't a huge amount of difference between what they did need and what they didn't need previously. So the legal responsibility for employer's liability hasn't diminished. That's still there. So people still 100% need to have their employer's liability if they have employees. Public liability is still advisable as well, because just because you're not open to the public doesn't necessarily mean that you can avoid a public liability claim. If somebody happens to be on your premises in your car park, for example, and they trip and fall, there's still the possibility for a public liability claim. There's all your stock and your contents and your buildings, they all still need covering. And and then there's your professional indemnity. Now, a professional indemnity claim can come in at any time. Now, just because you're not trading currently doesn't mean the advice that you gave 3 or 4 months ago is not liable to it's not likely to come back and bite you in some way. So,
what are some of the key things that businesses and people need to do to ensure that they don't invalidate their insurance policies?
Keep up with your payments. I know this is a difficult time. Money's not coming through the door. So absolutely priority number one, keep up with those payments. You do not want to find yourself accidentally uninsured. I do a lot in the leisure and hospitality sector, and a lot of those businesses are looking to now do delivery services because they can't trade on site, so now they need to trade off site. Now, what we're advising all of our clients to do is when they do that, it's imperative that they let us know, because if you're not trading under the way that you've told your insurance company that you are going to trade, then it may well come to turn to invalidate your insurance. So if you do make any changes, ensure that you are advising your broker or your insurer to make sure that cover is legitimate and up to date. And lastly, if you are going to be delivering any food or any items at all, for example, make sure that the vehicle that you're using is insured for business use. You don't want to be having an accident whilst out delivering something, and then for your car insurance, your motor insurance to say, well, do you know what, it was insured for personal use and not business, find that cover is not valid either.
It sounds like it's a minefield. There must be things, even just apart from the insurance, that they must do.
Risk assessments is something that all insurers will ask about when setting policies up, and if they become out of date, then you are potentially invalidating in terms of your insurance. So my advice at this point is to continue to do the usual practices around risk assessments, so reviewing them annually, or as and when there's been a change. So again, harking back to what we were talking about a moment ago, if you've changed the way that you do business, a risk assessment needs to be done in order to do that. So if you're now going off the premises when you weren't before, a remote workers policy, a remote worker risk assessment needs to be done and to put into place. What my key advice here is, whenever you make a change, just double check what the situation, how that affects you with your insurance broker. And if you are currently not trading or trading to a reduced capacity, use this time to review your processes and your documentation and your procedures to ensure that you are 100% watertight.
Yeah, I mean, we provide planning advice and help and coaching for business to do that, but I don't know of any business that actually thinks about their insurance when they're actually doing planning, and then the policies and how that all interacts with health and safety. So I guess it's really vitally important at the moment to ensure that you're fully covered going forward. Now, can businesses therefore contact you for advice, maybe a review of their policies and needs, even if they're not a client of yours?
Absolutely, that's right. I'm always happy to look after or look through policy documents and policy wording. I look through policies, I look through policy documents, I'll advise people where the policy meets their needs. And the only way I can do that is by going through those details with them. I'm also doing a daily Zoom meeting during this period of lockdown where I'm going to be doing exactly that for people.
Well, that's brilliant advice, Adam, and what a service you seem to be providing. So thanks for joining us today. I hope everything works out well and you can get back into the office soon. Thanks again.
Thanks, John.